I run tree to tree. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad, number 961. To upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. If you've not followed or subscribed yet, please do. This message is dedicated to the enduring Ann Trason. Here's the upgrade. Your brain wants you to think about the whole journey, but upgraded thinking chunks it down. Here's the story. Ann Trason is an absolute legend in ultra running. Someone I know who I've mentioned before from her endurance races, Dr. Terry Wurzbacher, was recently at a race with Ann. Terry is 76 and Ann is 65. They both completed the 6-day ultra across the years race in Arizona. I couldn't believe it when Terry wrote me and said Ann completed 112 miles with a walker. She was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis nearly 2 decades ago, and it severely impacted her joints and mobility, but she still competes. Now it's with the aid of her walker that she affectionately calls her purple tank. Ann is widely regarded as one of the greatest female ultra runners ever. She was inducted into the Ultra Running Hall of Fame in 2020. One of the toughest and most prestigious 100-mile races is the Western States 100. And from the late 80s into the 2000s, she won it 14 times. She set 20 world records at various distances, including a 50-mile record that stood for over 20 years. She was asked about how she handles the distance in ultras, and her answer was, I run from tree to tree. She breaks it down into small, manageable segments rather than fixating on the enormity of the challenge. This is the runner's version of the classic question of how you eat an elephant. Breaking massive distances into tiny, visible segments makes it mentally digestible. The same principle applies perfectly to all big projects in work, life, and personal goals. The better story to tell yourself is, I am just getting to my next marker. This reminds me of the story I read from Anne Lamott when she was a little girl. She and her brother were working on homework at the kitchen table, and her brother was bawling, crying. He had procrastinated on an assignment to make a catalog of various birds. He had 3 months to complete it, and now it was due the next day. And their father sat down next to him, put his arm around his son's shoulder, and gently said, "Bird by bird, buddy. Just take it bird by bird." The advice was simple. Break the huge project into manageable pieces, one bird or one small part at a time, instead of trying to tackle the whole thing at once. Tell me a story of a big project made manageable to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. It really helps others find these messages when you comment, like, subscribe, or follow. Send someone a text and ask them, do you have any hacks for tackling big projects? You can download my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.